Hi, welcome to Python+Physics. My name is Andrés, I'm a physicist, and I will be accompanying you in a series of videos in which we will get the basics to program in Python, and we will develop physics simulations and applications to engineering. Subscribe to the channel to be in tune with the new content that is uploaded. And leave your comments, it is really important to me. Let's begin. Python is a powerful programming language. Basically, there are two kinds of languages: compiler and interpreted languages. Python is an interpreter language because if you want to execute your code, you don't need to convert all the code to matching instructions. Instead, you need a program called the interpreter that takes every single line in your program and execute it one by one. Python stands out for its simplicity. Python is a high-level language, so it's beginner-friendly. It's an object-oriented language, so you can create, you can group data variables, different data variables, and it's so practical for many applications. It's strongly typed, so if you define, for example, a variable to be a number or a string, that variable will maintain that type during the execution of the program. One of the most important characteristics of Python is that it's open source, and Python is embeddable in other languages. For example, you can take a program in Python or part of a program in Python and incorporate that part in a C or C++ program. But why to use Python? Okay, you can do whatever you want with Python. So it's general purpose language. It's beginner friendly, really easy to program with these languages. So you will obtain quick results. The community behind Python is huge. You can find a lot of developers, forums, co-working there. Python is neat and clear. You can create your own libraries. You can find a lot of libraries in internet. So there is a huge collection of programs you can use to do whatever you want to do. And you can pass from the code to the real world. For example, using hardware like Raspberry Pi. Python is the main programming language of Raspberry Pi, for example. Okay, but this is the main question here. What do I need to program in Python? Let's see. To program with Python, we need to install first a development environment. We are going to do that for, in this case, Windows 11. But if you have other version of Windows or other operative system like Linux or Mac OS, you can do the same. Go to your browser and we're going to type www.python.org. This is the web page of Python. Here we are going to looking for Downloads tab, and here we have the last release for Windows. In this case, my Windows is a 64-bit system. You can download a version for 32-bit system too. Okay, if you have now your file in your computer, execute the file. And this setup windows will appear. Here I advise you to check this box, add Python to path, to use Python 3 in the terminal of Windows. Now click to install and wait for the installation process to be complete. Okay, at the end, a message will appear, setup was successful, so close the window. Now the development environment is integrated in Windows. To test that, you need to start the terminal. In this case, this terminal, and go to your directory. For example, we are going to work in the desktop. There you can type Python, and you'll see that Python is recognized by the terminal as a command, and there you can start adding instruction. For example, you can say a equals 2 and b equals 4. So a plus b is 6. If you want to recover the value of a variable, for example, a, the system say is 2. Okay, or you can say to Python print hello world. This is typically the first program or instruction we use to execute in a new programming language. Hello world, there it is. But how can we use this development environment in a file, in a Python file? Okay, first we are going to exit this shell, and we are going to create in this directory a new file. To do that, a simple way will be type copy space con and the name of the file. For example, test1.py. py because it's a Python file. If you click enter, type enter, you can here put whatever you want in your file. For example, we can use the number symbol and put this is my first program in Python, and then enter again and Control C to exit this this instruction. Now if we see the files inside the desktop directory, you can see here test1 was created. So I suggest you to use your favorite editor. In this case, for an easy way to deal with this first program, I'm going to use Notepad and the name of our file. And here you can see this is the first sentence we wrote with the command copy. Okay. Okay, so when you have this symbol at the beginning of an instruction in a Python program, this symbol means you are commenting this instruction, so Python the interpreter is not going to use or execute this line. So here we can start putting code. For example, print hello world, the traditional first message. And if you want to ask to the user the name, you can put name is a variable equals input. You can write before this, what's your name? So let's going to save the program, and the terminal to execute a program we're going to type Python and the name of the program, in this case test1.py. Hello world, what's your name? My name is Andrés. So cool.